Are you struggling to find something to do now that we're going through the writers and actors strikes? Too Opinionated has you covered. 625 and counting episodes of the best actors, musicians, writers, and everybody involved in the entertainment universe. Go to MeisterCon Pod on YouTube and subscribe, and you'll never miss an episode. Thank you guys for your support. Until next time, bye, everybody. Hi, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Too Opinionated. Really excited today. I've got actress, writer, director, Nicki Micheaux. I'm so excited to have you on. I was getting ready to tell you offline that I've been a fan of yours for years. And I have. The first time I remember seeing you on camera was your ER appearance, which was back, that's probably late 90s, right?
97, 96, maybe 96, but late 90s. Yeah.
That had to be close to your first thing, right?
That was like my breakout. That was my big break. I cannot believe it. No one references that anymore.
I was a big ER fan, so that
yeah,
everybody was in the 90s.
Yeah. No, that live episode changed my whole career.
Yeah.
It gave me a career. It was, yeah.
Because I was trying to think about it. I went back because that's, I have all this useless knowledge in my head, but it gets, there's nothing to do with it. So that's why I started podcasting. I was like, I got to get this stuff out. So I was working back through, in my head, what have I seen you in? And I went back through, Lincoln Heights, all that, the Shield, yes, and all that. And I kept going back. I was like, I'm trying to get to the earliest time I've seen you. So then I thought I had it. I was like, Felicity. That was the one. But then I was like, no.
Oh my gosh.
It was before Felicity. So
yeah, ER I think was before Felicity, but then I did a movie before that, but I don't know if you know that one.
Yeah, well, what's the name of the movie?
What is the name of the? Yes, I remember.
Like there was a show, and I may be getting it wrong, but wasn't there a show called Pacific Blue back then too?
Oh my God, you remember Pacific Blue?
I do. I wasn't 100% that you were on that, but I was like, I think
I was. I did a guest star on Pacific Blue. I think I had a really bad wig, if I remember correctly, like a dreadlock wig or something. I don't know what was going on that show. But no, I was thinking of Replacement Killers.
Oh, Replacement Killers. Yeah, of course.
Yes. Yeah. That was like, I want to say it might have been my first job. I think it was definitely before ER.
That's a good movie.
It was, yeah.
Yeah. No, I haven't thought about that movie in a long time. That is a good movie.
Yeah, that was great. And that was Chow Yun-Fat's first American movie. It was Antoine Fuqua, Mira Sorvino. And I got to, kind of, I think I had one scene with Michael Rooker, who's like just a sweetheart. I mean, just.
I know you wouldn't expect him to be a sweetheart, but I've always heard that.
Oh, yeah.
The nicest guy.
That's just the nicest guy, and actually referred me to another job. It was really, really nice. Really nice. Years later. Yeah, no. I think that might have been the earliest that I can think of. Yeah, that's the early. I can't remember. I'd have to look at my credits.
It's surprising. When I started thinking about it, I was like, she really been at this for a while, but it seems like it went by so fast.
It's like flying by. I mean, because that was before kids, and the whole kid thing, just like my daughter's 18. It's crazy. It's just like time is.
I'm in the grandparent phase right now.
No, come on.
Yeah, I got 5 of them.
Congratulations.
They're all pretty young. So it's fairly new. The oldest is just 4. But yeah, just wait. Parenting is terrific. Grandparenting's even better.
I can't wait. Although my kids insist they're not having any kids, so.
That they all say that really. But
I know. I'm just gonna sit back and wait.
That's right. Just wait.
I won't pressure. No pressure. Just gonna.
Let me ask you your opinion on this. All right, because you brought up this bad wig that you had to wear. So I've been toying with this idea that every interview I'll wear a different wig. Some of them will be good ones. Some of them will be terrible. Some of them won't even make sense.
Okay, why? I mean, sure, but why?
Well, there's no reason. And then I would not mention it.
Oh, you just would sit there and wait to see.
I would never. And if they said something, I would just deflect. I'd never explain it.
I think that's great. I think it's just great. Just, you're sitting there with whatever hair, just like, so anyway, it's really great to
Right.
meet you. And your just hair is just ridiculous, especially if it kind of flipped in your eye or
Yeah, that's
something
that's
funny.
it.
That'd be fun. Very fun.
Or I could ask all my guests to wear like a skull cap.
Oh, to make you look bald?
Yeah, they look more like me.
I would look like Lumpy, trying to put all this hair in a
You'd have
skull
trouble
cap.
getting that under there, I think.
Well, I mean, although, there are some hairstyles that work wonders. I am not one of those people, but a skull cap could be fun. We could be matching. You know what? I bet there's a filter to make
There's
you look
probably
like
a
you
much
got a,
easier way to do it than
yeah,
me
there's a
going out
skull
and
cap,
purchasing wigs and skull caps.
filter. There you go. That's what we need.
I
Actually, I
I
wouldn't
was
mind it. That way I could see what I look like. Like, what would I look like,
well, you'd have to actually look. You couldn't take yourself off screen.
That part. Look at yourself, Nikki. Look in the mirror. It's
You
okay.
know, I was introducing you, and in my head, I'm running through all this stuff, and I got stuck in my head for a second. I was like, might want to mention her name, dumbass.
And you did a good job. You pronounced it correctly.
Did I get it right?
You.
Yeah.
Yes, you did. I can't believe you remember way back to ER. That's like so crazy. That was
Well,
such a
you were
fun
so
job.
good on that episode, and
Thank you.
yeah,
Thank
that
you.
of course, ER. There's a ton of shows like that now, but back then, the real ER and Chicago Hope came out around the same time.
Yep.
That was about it.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep.
And then, of
I
course,
remember.
The Shield. You played kind of a badass on The Shield, so that was kind of cool.
We love the Shield. I love that. That was like
I miss The Shield.
Great. Me too. We missed the Shield. We just had a little quasi reunion on the picket line with all the Shield actors. It was that was a great bunch of folks. Every so often, I've been really, really lucky to be a part of some great casts.
Yeah.
Great, not just casts, great productions. Because sometimes there's magic, and I've been a part of magic like a lot of times in my career, and it never gets old. Like it's a beautiful show. It's a beautiful show to work on. Loved it. Love playing Trish. Loved it.
Well, and it was one of the shows that kind of changed how we're doing TV. It was like a streaming show before there were streaming.
Yeah, or like an HBO show.
Yeah, or like an HBO show. It did have some Wire vibes to it.
Yes. Yeah. It was badass.
Yeah, it was.
Badass.
It was a great show. So I got us off track a little bit, of course.
All right. So we're back.
But yeah, let's bring it back. So let's start this way. Tell me a little bit about what got you into acting. Why'd you want to become an actress?
Oh, my first time on stage was just so exhilarating. I got up on stage in an acting class, did a monologue, and it was the first time that I have a very active brain, and there's a lot. I'm usually thinking about 5 different things at one time, and it can be kind of annoying and a little stressful. But when I'm on stage, there was one thought, and it was just being in character, and it was just what the character wanted, and it was like all the kind of noise, I would say, died out, and there was this sort of this singular focus, and then I could feel the audience, and it just was like this high. I felt high the rest of the day, and really that was it. You know how they say you get bitten by the acting bug?
Yeah.
That was it. Once I got bitten, I changed my whole life to try to figure out how was I going to be acting. How was I? Because I had toyed with it in high school, and was just like, oh no, this is way too hard. You're gonna be broke, starving artist. I was
not an easy
Fame.
Profession.
Oh, I have watching Fame, and I was like, oh no. Debbie Allen, like, and right here is where you start paying. I was like, I can't pay. I can't do it. And I just never thought, I was like, I'm not doing that. I'm going to become a doctor. Yeah, F that shit. So then I go to school, and I'm like, oh, I'll take this acting class, easy A, because I'm pre-med. So I'm in molecular biology, organic chemistry, all this other stuff, right? Crazy coursework.
Yep.
So I'm just going to take this acting class and get this A out of the way. And then I get like bit by the acting bug, and I'm just like, so now I'm on stage every night or doing plays and doing all this stuff, trying to balance molecular biology, which was insane. Oh, so I had to change my major, and eventually made my way. I didn't. I'd switch my major. I couldn't do both. Yeah, I'd switch my major, and my parents were most unhappy. with that
Well,
decision. But
as a parent, you just want to make sure that your
they're
child
okay.
is, they're going to be able to do
Yeah.
something and be successful at it.
Yes.
He
Yes. So they were,
might not be that thing.
yeah, they were terrified. And
Yeah.
it's funny because part of that dynamic, that struggle, was what I based the movie that I wrote, Summer of Violence, on, was
Mhm.
because she wants to be an artist and her dad's like, no, you're going to do this. And he disowns her. And it was really kind of reflecting with the struggle that I was having with my dad, which kind of went on. My struggle with my dad went on for like till I was 30, but I just threw it all into one in this movie. Just with having a controlling father and trying to please your parents and trying to do
Right.
well and still trying to do your own thing and not really too sure. So, that whole, breakdown where she has to, now I'm talking about the movie. Sorry, I totally segued because it's such a parallel to what
Yeah.
I was,
The movie
you know,
Summer of Violence, right?
yes,
And
Summer of
you get
Violence.
to
Yes.
write and direct this one.
I wrote it and I directed it and I wrote all the poetry in the movie
I
because
love
she's a
that.
poet.
Well, are you a poet? I guess you are if you wrote all of it.
Yeah, I guess I'm a poet. Now, I'm not the poet who actually goes out and performs her poetry. I'm the poet who sits and writes very quietly in her journal.
I think that's all right, though. That's a good exercise.
Yeah. Of course, I put it all in the movie, and it was so funny because I remember the scene we had, and I needed everybody to do a poem. I need like a poetry session for the
Yeah.
film, and I hadn't really written in the script all the poems for them to say
Right.
because I hadn't planned it. I just got there and on set and decided this scene needs more. So I can't just have these guys just sitting around like, watermelon, watermelon, mother, whatever. I need them to actually do something. And so I literally went through my journal and started like handing out poems. I was like, okay, here's one for you, one for you. Yeah, this is good. I had like so many poems, just like, and I had like typed them up and they were just sitting there in my journal. And I really thought, oh, this will never make the film. It's actually really great. It's this great moment where everyone's like vibing and doing their poem, and these young people. I got like 19 years old, 20 years old, 21, just doing these poems, and it speaks to them, which was crazy because
I mean,
I
that
wrote
had to
these
feel
poems.
great.
It felt amazing because I wrote these poems at like late early the 90s, really, when I was
Yeah.
really young. The 90s, I wrote a lot of these poems. I kept writing some poems, but they were different. But in terms of like that angst that you
Right.
have when you're 21, 24, all of that was just bleeding on the page. And I really thought they were cheesy. And so that's just why I just sort of kept them to myself. They were way too vulnerable, way
Yeah.
too just too
Too
much.
real.
But but when I heard them, I had never heard them spoken out loud. And hearing them, it was just so compelling. You're just like, damn, or so beautiful. And I was able to actually be much more objective. Also, it had been 20 years. So it was just a phenomenal experience to see these young people, you know, uh, vibe with the poems. And because what happened, the reason why I wrote the movie, well, I had written the movie and then I put it away. And then Amanda Gorman
Yeah.
came and did the poem for Biden, and there was like this resurgence, and I thought, aha, maybe now I can make this movie. Because before, no one cared. No one cared about a poet. It was stupid. No one cared about a coming of age story about a black woman. But then you had this 21-year-old light, Amanda Gorman come out, and people were just so moved
Yeah.
that was what made me think there's an audience for this film. I can do this film now, and I started pushing again to get it done. Yeah, so
I
thanks,
love that.
Amanda.
And don't, I mean, you'd know a lot better than I would, but it seems like, strike to the contrary, it seems like Hollywood is starting to change a little bit, becoming a little more diverse, getting more voices, definitely more female voices in there, which is long overdue with that stuff. But are
You
you noticing that side or that happening on
well,
your side?
I will say yes, yes, and but it's still well, it's weird because I did my film completely outside of the Hollywood system,
Yeah.
completely independent. Um, so it's still, I would say there's a lot more of it, which is really, really great. But still, we're such a small fraction. We're certainly not on par with
That's
where
a
where we are in
long way to go
population.
still.
Long way to go, but it's something. There's movement, but what looks, I hope we keep going forward. A
Yeah.
lot of things have been happening to sort of reverse things. So just I think this summer, a lot of stuff has been happening with a lot of the diversity programs, and then of course the Supreme Court, I think, has ruled down affirmative action. So I don't know where we're headed. I really don't know where we're headed. I mean, certainly where I'm headed is trying to create. I think it's important to be an artist and an entrepreneur. I think it's important to think about the business. I think we have to get more into, we need to own our product. We need to figure out how do we get our product into the pipeline in front of the marketplace so that you're not so dependent on the system, the Hollywood system, which may or may not like your work, and it's not always bad. This is art. This is taste.
That's right.
It's like some people like apples, some people like oranges. They may not just vibe with what I'm doing, and that's okay. But that doesn't mean that it's up to me. It's up to me. It's up to other artists that may fit outside of the mainstream to try to figure out the path, to try to build the pipeline to get there. So that is ridiculously hard. But
Right.
It's ridiculously hard. And I'm not even sure how to yet, but I think it's important to just keep taking steps forward because I'm really a believer that God puts in front of you what you need, and it's kind of like that next step, and you just take that next step, and like for instance, I had decided to make the movie. I didn't know where I was getting the money.
Right.
I didn't even. I mean, I
That's
didn't
probably
know.
the hardest part is the financing.
The financing is crazy. I didn't have any stars lined up. Who was 21 and a star that was going to be in my movie? I didn't know them. I knew 40 and 50-year-olds. So, you know, I was like, I don't know what I'm going to do, but I had decided I was going to make this movie, and I was going to shoot it for $100,000. I was going to get a COVID loan. I was going to get one of those pandemic business loans to make the movie. But because other people were doing all sorts of, that was their business, making projects. I was not able to do that, but an investor showed up, who then became my business partner, and we decided to start a production company together, 360 Films. So me and Johnny Wimbrey went off on this crazy road, and we're still doing it, and it's so exciting. It's so exciting. So now the next step is getting it into theaters, getting it in front of the audience. But every step, I just keep believing you figure it out as you go. I've always said you know enough to get started. So we're on the road, and we're gonna get there.
Well,
anybody listening,
anybody wants to help, we take the help.
Hey, anybody want to jump in? Go to the website. We're right there. Become an insider. www.com. What is it? Summerviolence.com. That's where you go.
That's right.
But because somebody usually is there to offer advice, support, open a door.
Yeah.
And hopefully, the movie, once we're able to start getting the movie out, people will see it and be moved, and it takes it on its own journey.
Yeah, that's pretty exciting, but also scary.
Yeah, well, it's really just exciting because well, I'm not the investor part, so
I guess that's true. That takes away some of the worry.
Johnny's scared, I'm not. That's not. No, he's not scared. He's actually really, really excited. And also my brother. He's a part of the company too. My brother Brian. He says he's definitely not scared. Everyone's really excited about it because, in a way, it's kind of like being in the Wild West. We're on the verge of trying to crack open this business, and it's exciting. It's a startup, so there are some stressful. I would say the stressful time was actually making the film. That was stressful.
Okay.
And can we get it? Can we get it done?
Did you film during COVID, or has it been more recent?
No. We filmed in 22, so we were still subject to all the COVID testing. But we filmed in LA, and we filmed in Boulder, and we filmed in Denver. So it was a lot.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I can't imagine.
I got stories.
It's too big. Yeah, it's too big for me to even imagine. That just sounds daunting.
Yeah, it was, but there's something about, remember I told you I got those 5 trains running in my head.
Yeah.
It's something like when life gets really chaotic, it like moves up to my frequency because I'm like,
but you thrive on the chaos.
The chaos is at my level. So it's all like, I'm the calm one. Like people are more running around, and I'm the one who's calm because I'm sort of just like, okay, that one, that one,
Yeah.
that one, okay. And it's really strange. It's really strange. That's the plus of having anxiety.
Did so have you taken it like around to the film festivals?
Yeah, we were able to have our first screening at American Black Film Festival in
Awesome.
Miami, which
Yeah.
was awesome. And we are coming up. I think I'm under embargo, so I can't say the next ones that are coming up in October. But we got some wonderful festivals coming up in October. I think I can tell you about the one here in LA. We're going to do the DTLA Film Festival, which is a really very independent film festival that's very well respected. So I'm super excited about that. And it's just the thing about ABFF that was so exciting. The audience was packed,
Yes.
standing room only. People were on the floor watching the film. I couldn't believe it. We only had one screening, and people were just so moved by the film, like overall moved by the film, and tears, and they were with it. You could hear a pin drop. It was stunning.
Was
It
that the
was
first time you'd
amazing.
seen it on a big screen?
Yes,
Oh, it's
first
a
time I
good
saw
feeling.
it with people,
Yeah.
Oh, it was beautiful. I just
That's pretty exciting. Yeah, I would be a nervous wreck because
yes,
I'd be looking around trying to catch reactions. Are they gonna
I
are
was
they gonna
nervous.
smile at the right time, or did this joke work, or did this line work?
you know,
That
it was
thing.
it was funny because they didn't laugh at all the jokes, which I thought was weird. Like they were like really listening,
Yeah.
and I was like, why are they so intense? Like, and then I just decided, everyone's going to have their own experience, and I had to kind of relax myself during the film because I was really uptight, worried about how it would go. And I was like, Nikki, this movie's an hour and a half. You're gonna have to relax. Like, you can't do this a whole thing in minutes. And
Just
I just
help
started to
out.
just like, let's just enjoy the film. And then I started to catch the vibe they were on. They're just listening and watching and moved. And hopefully we can just keep duplicating that. And I hope that that's where people will start, going telling each other about the film and buying tickets.
Oh,
Yeah.
I think they will. Yeah, I think they will. That's so exciting. Good for you. Is that the first thing that you've written that you've gotten made?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. First thing. Crazy, right?
Yeah, that doesn't happen very often.
No, I made a movie that I wrote. Yeah, crazy.
Well, and then you
And
directed it, which is
and then I
another
directed it.
level.
Crazy. Crazy. My manager had to kind of push me because I was gonna do this other film that a friend of mine wrote. She goes, "No, do your movie." And I was like, "Yeah, but I don't know." She's like, "No, do your movie." And my
You're right.
producer friend, very successful, she insisted, "Do your movie, period, done." And having climbed the mountain that is making a movie, I think that they're right because it's a big mountain
Yeah.
and you don't want to climb it really for any reason unless you're 120% committed because it is a large leap. It really
Yes.
is a lot to do.
Well, and
And
by directing, you get to make sure your vision is what's getting out there.
I get to actually create a vision, figure out what my vision is like. Oh yeah, so I think this should go over there. Oh, sorry. And then and sometimes you have to fight with people to tell them like this is what I
Yeah.
need. It was something. It was great. I loved it. I'm not even remotely the same person I was a year ago. Not even remotely.
But that's a good thing.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, that's
Beautiful.
a personal growth.
Yes, yes. I'm really so happy about it. I really am.
I'm excited for you. Do you have a preference? Would you like it to be released in theaters, or do you care if it's streamer only?
Excuse me. I mean, the dream is theaters.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
the dream is 500 people in the theater, all in the dark, having the experience together. But as long as the film gets in front of an audience, is really all that matters. Theaters are weird. I mean, are people going to the movies? It looks like they might be coming back, but
Not
we're
the
hopeful
same
that
though.
it's not the same. So, but more importantly, it's just like, can I get you to just enjoy the movie? We certainly shot it to be seen on the big screen.
Yeah.
I think you'll have a better experience of the film on the big screen because that's what we made it for. So I do hope that people do come give it a shot and buy tickets.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
exciting. Did you put yourself in it?
No.
Not even a
Although,
cameo?
well, I am the radio DJ.
Oh,
So
okay.
I do my voices in the film.
Okay.
I was gonna play the mom, but that was a little too much. It was too much chaos. The day they told me, because I was gonna play the mom, and I think hair called me or wardrobe called me for a fitting, and I was like, you know what? I can't fit in a fitting and hair, and I can't. There's so much. It was so much going on. I was like, next time, But and also I was able to hire a wonderful actress, Sean, who played the mom, and it allowed me to have some distance, which I think was good, honestly, for my first film.
Yeah, probably was. Yeah, probably was.
Yeah,
Did you do the bulk of the casting yourself?
yeah, me and my producers. Yep,
Wow.
yeah, yep, with casting director, of course. Yeah, it's a lot. It's a
That's a
lot
lot.
casting a
That's a
film.
lot of
It's a
hats.
lot. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, so did the experience make you want to do more, or is it okay, that's one and done?
Oh no, it made me when we got to the last week and I was exhausted, right? I was exhausted dragging and I really wanted to go home and see my kids, but at the same time, I didn't want it to end.
Yeah.
It was every day was magical. Bringing this world to life, watching these people play in it, lighting it, doing the shots, the fires, putting out the fires, and then when the magical moment came, I mean, it was all magic. Oh, and I mean the hard parts too. I'm not trying to make it look
Yeah.
easy, but still it was magical. And so even though my body was like, dude, you gotta go home. I really could have kept going. And and of course I think you need a good amount of time between production
Sure.
just for your body and your family and all of that stuff. But I definitely can't wait to start my next film. Yeah, I can't wait.
Now, that's
Yeah.
exciting. How did your family respond to it?
They like it,
Oh, that's
which,
good.
I was, because I put my brother in the film, and he and my mom came to set, and he just fell in love with it. He's like, "This is such a good movie." He loved it, which is why he came on board, as an investor and
Yeah.
then as a partner because he loved the film. Because when I asked him before, he was like, "No, the movie business is risky," and I'm like, "But it's me, your sister." So it was only because he loved the film that he like got suckered in into like, come on, I got you now. Come on into the movie business. Come on, let's get some money. Um, and my mom, I finally showed her the film because I was nervous, because a lot of the drama with my dad I
Right.
replayed in the movie, and she loved it, because ultimately the film was really a poem to my dad, ultimately, and who passed away back in 2000. My dad's been gone forever. So I was really hoping that she would appreciate the film, and then of course my daughter came to the screening and was blown away. She's like, "Mom, you're a poet. I'm a poet." I was like, "What?" I was like, "You write poems? I write poems all the time, Mom. Why didn't you tell me?" So it's just so cute, it's really, really.
I love
It couldn't
that.
have. I know, right? I mean,
Yeah. It made you and
and I
your
asked.
daughter closer. That's awesome.
It did. It was like revealing myself, and she revealed herself back to me. So it was really kind of interesting. And then also, I didn't think that the movie was for people so young, but I had no idea. Some of the most moved audience members have been late teens, early 20s,
Wow.
and I was like, wow, that's
I can't wait to see it.
awesome.
I'm excited.
Yeah, I can't wait for you to see it either. We're going to definitely make sure we come to a theater in West Virginia. Is it
You
West
have
Virginia
to.
or Virginia?
West Virginia. And
Yeah, we're
whenever
coming.
you want to put it in West Virginia, I will get there.
Yeah, we really want to make this work. We really want to get it out there all across the country and then the world. Um, and it's gonna be good. It's gonna be really fun. I just think once people see the film, it'll start to do what it's meant to do.
Was it
Yeah.
cathartic getting all of that out with the stuff with your dad?
You know, honestly, once I wrote it, it was
Yeah.
cathartic.
Yeah.
So by the time we got around to making it, I had already processed a lot of that. So it was the writing of it was really the catharsis of it. So that was probably 2 years, 3 years before we ever shot it. And it allowed me to find a way to have peace with it because my father and I left. he died before we were able to resolve what had
Right.
happened
That's
between
all.
us. Yeah, and that's always hard because you kind of carry that with you.
Sure.
And the thing is, but they're gone. So you really have to decide how you're going to go forward.
Yeah.
And certainly that was always, I had struggled with that for a long, long time. And writing the story, kind of taking it all back and kind of fictionalizing it, you know, putting it in the extremes of it. And really what I wrote was, because I was so mad when my dad died
Yeah.
and all of the drama that was going on between us. And I was so upset because I was like, this is not how it's supposed to go. We're supposed to make up. We're supposed to have all this stuff worked out.
Right.
You're not supposed to die with this gulf between us. I was really upset. Like I really thought it would work. We would be able to work it out. He died very suddenly. And I was so irritated. And then in my brain, I was like, Nicki, life is not a movie.
Right.
You know, these things don't work out. So, in the movie, I played with having him die, and so that she would be left unresolved. But I was like, no,
Give us a
let's
happy
take her.
ending.
Because let's take it to where it probably would have gone had you had the time,
Right.
or let's write the version that we want people to be. Like y'all need to be like this. Don't die with a gulf between your family.
Yeah.
Find a way to come back to your family, to your daughter, to your son, to your mom. Really the movie's about, you know, um, healing those bonds and the power of love and how we really need the love and support of our family,
That's right.
and people need to get over themselves.
Well, yeah, because
Because
that could happen to anybody at any time. You
yeah,
don't want to
yeah,
leave that stuff out there because you may never get
yeah,
to say whatever it is you're needing to say.
yeah. And so a lot of people's favorite poem is the one that I wrote for the movie, which is the poem for my dad. I think it's I don't know what the name of it is except a poem for my father. And a lot of people really like it. And it was a beautiful experience for me to focus on the love I had for my dad and to forgive him.
Yeah, I love that. And well, I'm sure it helped
Yeah.
with your daughter because she came along after he was gone. So I'm sure it helped her
Yeah.
maybe to understand him a little better.
Yeah. 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 And maybe even understand her own father.
Yeah. Yeah, very true. Very true. I love
Yes.
that. I can't wait to see this movie. You need to get that out there right now.
Right away. ASAP.
Tonight would be
Let's
great.
go. Tonight. Can we just stream it on Netflix right now? Can you flip a button, Nicki? Like, because
Yeah,
that's what we need.
let's just
Let's
do it.
call somebody.
Just
Let's just
call
call
somebody.
somebody.
I'll make some phone calls after this. I need something
You
to
know,
watch for dinner tonight. So
I was really hoping that you would call up Netflix and let them know Too Opinionated as demanded.
because
We've
that's
seen this
probably
movie.
the only thing holding you back is I just haven't given my stamp of approval yet.
And you need to wear a wig.
Oh, I'll wear a wig. You pick it out. I'll wear it.
Because that's all we need. That's all we need. Yeah, so no, it's been a great, all of it's great. I mean,
Yeah.
the artistic process of it, the business stuff, learning the business stuff, being challenged, all of it's just really fun.
Yeah, I love that. Well, Nicki, thank you so much for coming to talk about it because,
Yes.
when I read
Yeah.
it, I was first excited because you were coming on the podcast and I told you I
Okay.
was a fan. But then when I read about the project, I was like, I want to see this movie. And I'm a very emotional
Yes.
guy, so there'll probably be tears.
This is your movie. This is your movie. And especially because you got kids and grandkids.
Yeah.
I mean, I dare say it's slightly a family film. So, you can all enjoy it. Something for everybody, different ages.
I love that. Yeah, that's terrific.
That's awesome. Thank you.
So a couple things before we wrap up. Oh, I did mean to
Oh,
ask,
yes.
do you have a good Chadwick story?
Oh.
Because you
Chadwick
got to
was
work with him pretty young. I mean, he was pretty young at the time.
yes. Yeah, I think we were his second job
Yeah.
or something, because I remember talking to him at lunch and, oh, I was on this show or something he was up for, but he was doing our show. But here's the funny part. Um, he spent a lot of time. Well, my mom got to talk to him a lot more than I did because she was there I had baby number two, I think. So my mom was there with my newborn, and I think Simone was 3 or 4. And my mom just loved Chadwick because he would help her with Simone, which was my daughter, and like just play with her at the lunch table, and she just thought he was just the sweetest boy. She had no idea. I was like, Mom, Chadwick is Black Panther. She's like, well, when did that happen? I was like, you mean that boy we were sitting with at the lunch table? Yep, that one. That's the one. And it always just so sweet to me because he always was so unassuming. I mean, he wore fame so well.
Yeah.
You know, I remember when he became, after Black Panther, it was just ridiculous in terms of um what's the word I'm looking for? The homage that people would, give to him. And he would always, because he had a special place, I think, in his heart for Lincoln Heights. Because I remember my Sean and I were at the NAACP Image Awards after party, and Chadwick, he was over there like behind the rope, right where the VIP people were, and he would always like, no, you guys, come on, and then we would take pictures, and it was always like a little mini reunion. Just a very, special person. Love him to death. Miss him. Love him to death.
Yeah, I know, and we all kind of fell in love with him. He was such a presence on screen.
How could you not? How could you not? I mean, it was hard to watch Wakanda Forever because it was hard for me, But something, boy, talk about making an impact.
Well, he did. I had an actor on that was had worked with him, and he same kind of raved about how he was on set and stuff. But Chadwick would text him on occasion, but it was never for him. Like he would text him about doing something or whatever, and it was for another guy that had a very similar name. So, but it kept happening. And like the first time it happened, I was really pumped up because Chadwick's wanting to hang out. And then it dawned on me, I was like, well, he's like across the country, so this obviously isn't for me. But then over the years, it happened several more times. And he said it just kept getting funnier.
That's hilarious. That's hilarious. Oh, yeah, me and Chadwick. See my message right here? See that? Yeah.
Yeah.
T'Challa wants to hang out with me.
That's right. Yeah. That's right. He's flying cross country apparently to have dinner.
Says right. Look at there. So, I'm blessing you. I'm going to let him know I can't make it.
Yeah. I told him, I was like, well, I'd hang on to those texts.
Oh my God. Yeah. Forever. That's great.
Well, so a couple of things, Nicki, before we go, is there anything else that you're working on that you can talk about that we can kind of keep an eye out for?
The next movie is a little early, but I'm definitely doing it. I think it's going to be a psychological thriller, so I'm really excited about that.
Yeah.
And keep rooting for me to finish the sci-fi movie I'm writing because I really, really, really want to make.
I'm a sci-fi guy, so.
Oh, you're gonna love it.
If you need like a dead body that has no lines, I'm your guy.
I always need a dead body.
I can lay still.
Yes, and not breathe. Perfect. No. So mostly just keeping up with those scripts and there'll be stuff coming. I'm excited.
I know now that you're a writer and a director, which one do you prefer? Do you want to do acting more or writing directing?
Directing actually made me want to act more. That's true. It did make me want to act more. Well, I love acting. I mean, when you got great words, it's really fun. I think personality wise, I'm much more of a writer. I love writing. And again, that's that dropping into that world of whatever I've created. I love to do that. I think they all kind of come and what's the word? Ebbs and flows. Like it's all kind of like, now I want to be over here, and oh yeah, I think I want to be over there, and like, oh wait, let's go over there. It's just all sort of a flow. I mean, I would like to be in the next thing I direct for sure. I think I'll take a role, probably a small role, but I definitely want to exercise. I mean, if Spike Lee can do it,
you can do it. It's like a reward for all your hard work.
Come on, everybody does it. Everybody does it. So I'm gonna give it a shot.
You should do that. Okay, so last thing, where can we find you on social media and the movie, I guess, if you want to go through that again?
Yeah, so I'm on Instagram and Facebook and all those things at Nicki Micheaux. And I think I'm on TikTok. I think I'm the real Nicki Micheaux, but whatever, it's still Nicki Micheaux. And then the movie is Summer of Violence Film. And really, I just want everyone to go to summerofviolence.com and become an insider with the film. And that'd be really, really great. Summerofviolence.com and then Nicki Micheaux. Do you see my little girl?
She is very, very cute. My son's a dog person in the family. He would love her.
Yeah. Oh, she's a bit She's a lot. She's special. She's special. Yeah, so Nicki Micheaux and all those places, and that way people can keep up with the projects and the film.
Yeah.
And if they become an insider on the website, they'll get updates directly to their email, which would be great.
Well, Nicki, once you get this movie
Yeah,
out, you got to come back and tell us how it's going.
Oh, yes. Well, I should come back when I get to West Virginia so we can do our opening there and we can all talk about it.
All right, done. No,
done and done.
Was it no takebacks?
Okay. I'll send you a text.
All right, Nicki.
All right, thank you.
You're so welcome. Hope you enjoyed that, Nicki Micheaux. Absolute fan of hers. I think her acting is amazing, and she's been very prolific over the last 20 or so years. We hit on a bunch of things that she's been in, but just to give you a little taste of some of the other work she's done a couple of the Law and Orders, LA and SVU. She's been on a couple of the NCISs, including the NCIS LA. She played Nia on In the Dark, which was terrific, and she was Shelley on Shameless, which we loved her on that. Also loved her as Leah on SWAT. She's done Chicago PD. She was in Colony, which was, I think, an underrated sci-fi show. She had several episodes of that. She's done Jag, Dragnet, Veep, Castle, Desperate Housewives. She was a detective on Animal Kingdom, NYPD Blue, The West Wing. I mentioned Felicity. She was a security guard on The Practice, and of course, her role in ER, plus the films. I should have mentioned Replacement Killer. She was terrific. That's a great film. But she is very talented. I'm very excited to see Summer of Violence. Keep your eye out for it. Go to summerofviolence.com and support her if you can. You know, we want to help as many independent filmmakers that we can, because there's so much talent there that's kind of outside the established system. We don't want to miss out on that stuff. You know, there's some really good stuff to be seen and watched, enjoyed. So go to summerofviolence.com. Help Nicki out there. If you're finding us for the first time, thank you. Really appreciate that. Love to have your support. We don't ask for any money. It's free. You know, all we ask is that you go to our YouTube page, MeisterCon Pod, hit subscribe, or wherever you listen to your podcast from, just subscribe there. That helps us out so much. We recently named one of IMDb, which is the entertainment database, one of their top 100 podcasts. We came in at number 82. Really proud of that. It's not like it's a small field. There's 15 million podcasts. So coming in at 82, we're pretty excited about that. And it's really easy for you to support us that way. If you go to imdb.com and just look up To Opinionated, just looking at our page helps us. That's all you got to do. Just look up To Opinionated, imdb.com. Take a look at the page. That's all we ask. Thank you guys so much. You can find all 638 episodes and counting. We normally put out 4 or 5 episodes or so a week. You can find all of those audio and video on our website, meistercon.com. So definitely check us out there as well. Thank you guys so much. Till next time. Bye, everybody. Hi, everybody. I'm once again here to ask for your support. It's been a big year for the Two Opinionated podcast. Back in February, we got to live out a dream, moderate for William Shatner here in our hometown. In May, we passed 100,000 downloads on our YouTube channel, and we followed that up in June with 50,000 downloads on the audio side. We recently posted our 600th episode, which is pretty good volume for just a father and son operation. You know, not too many podcasts can keep that volume up. We've been doing this now for 4.5 years, 600 plus episodes. We recently hit 1,000 subscribers on our YouTube channel, which is a really big deal for us because we've always gotten the views, but have struggled to get people to subscribe. So that 1,000 was a big deal for us. And best of all, we were recently named one of the top podcasts on IMDb, which is the entertainment database. You know, those that are ahead of us, we came in at number 82. Those that are ahead of us are bigger companies like Disney, mostly Marvel, and Joe Rogan, that type of podcast. So for us, being just a small West Virginia father and son podcast, to be in the top 100 out of 15 million, it's a pretty big deal for us. So thank you for everything you've done for us so far. Got a couple little ways, though, that you can help us, and they're free and they're really easy. If you haven't checked out our YouTube channel yet, please go to YouTube. It's under MeisterCon Pod. Just hit subscribe. It's free, doesn't cost you anything, really helps us a ton. And maybe even more important, if you could go to imdb.com, look up the Two Opinionated podcast, and just look around the page. Just having that traffic on the page really helps us out. So that's a couple easy ways that you can support us, even if you're not listening or watching all of the time. And we want you to listen and watch, because I think that our guest list, I would put up against anybody, any other show, podcast, anybody out there. I think our guest list holds up. So please check us out. You probably will find somebody that you like, or maybe somebody that you didn't know you liked, but kind of discovered them on there. There's tons of that. If you're into music, we have that too. If you like books, we've got authors on there. If you're more into what goes on behind the scenes in the entertainment world, you know, we've got producers, directors, video artists, anything you can think of that happens behind the scenes, we've had them on the show. So definitely check us out. Thank you guys so much. Until next time. Bye, everybody.